Yeah. Check the mic, too. Used to chase cloud, now I chasing a piece. A hard knock life, or in any singing the blues. This ain't no facade, this need no release. Yeah, feeling alright. Gonna be alright. Oh, no stress, just vibes, just vibes. Life's a mess, a beautiful mess under blue sky. Yeah.
What's going on, audience? This is your boy GQ The Truth coming to you with the misconceptions of masculinity, episode 4, titled What Marriage Means to Men. Well, first of all, marriage is misconstrued just like masculinity is. People just have this whole view of what marriage is. Some think, oh, marriage is horrible. Some think marriage is going to be a sunshine and rainbows and happily ever after, just like in the movies. But what they don't tell you is what people ain't realizing is the truth. Marriage is work, constant work. You have to work on yourself so you can be the best partner for that person. As men, we need to be the best husbands. We the leader of the household. So our role is very important. Not to say woman's role is not as important. Just saying that as a man myself, I know my role in my marriage is very important. I have to cover my wife in ways that she has never been covered before by any other man, because any other man was not her husband. You see what I'm saying? And she has to cover me in ways that she's never covered anybody else, because the other person was not her. They weren't her husband. Same thing. As men, we have to realize that we have to approach the woman that we love, that we want to marry, in a way where it's like no glamour. This is the person we're going to spend the rest of our life with. Like, we're not going to see anybody else. We have to approach them in an honest way where they know who we are and we know who they are. And if we're honest with each other before we even get to marriage, we got no problems. You see what I'm saying? So the main thing that we have to focus on is God. Working on ourselves. Before we even get to marriage, it starts way before we meet our person. You see? And a lot of times it's like people think marriage is this ball and chain. I hate that saying that people say is because there's no ball and chain. That person doesn't stop you from being who you are. It just makes you better. If you meet the right one. You meet the wrong one, yeah, you're going to have that whole ball and chain mentality, because that's not your wife. That's a wife. There's a difference. So many of us are around here making wives that are not supposed to be our wives because we choosing the wrong person for the wrong reasons. There's no perfect people in the world, so it's going to be difficult when you meet your person. So because of that, we have to be sure and we have to be intentional in who we choose to spend the rest of our lives with. We have to make sure God ordained it, man. God is in it. That's a big deal breaker for me. Are we equally yoked? Are we on the same page as people? Do you mind being submissive? Because if a woman is not submissive as a girlfriend, she's not just going to overnight become submissive as a wife. She's going to be who she is. And you just got to make sure that you are mindful of that. Pay attention to the signs. I said in another episode that we choose the women that we want to be with. And that is so true. We choose them. So because we choose them, we have to be intentional in choosing. We have to make sure we pay attention to things that they do. Know the signs, because the thing is, deep down, everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to have their person, and everybody wants to be treated the way they're supposed to be treated. And the only way to do that is by showing the love of God to each other. It is by, as a husband, I have to do things for my wife sometimes when I don't want to do it. Just being honest. I'm human. I get frustrated. I get tired. Sometimes I don't want to get up and have to take out the trash. But I do it anyway because, hey, as a husband, that is my duty. And then sometimes I've forgotten to take out the trash and she'll do it for me. That's okay. Sometimes we switch roles. Sometimes she does things that I do and I do things that she do. I wash clothes sometimes. The thing is, gender roles have no business in your marriage because sometimes you may have to help her out. Sometimes she has a tough day. She works too. So guess what? She gets tired. She does not feel like doing things sometimes. Sometimes she might want dinner, you cook dinner. Sometimes, she comes home, you waiting on her. You got a nice movie with some dinner playing or something like that, some music playing just to set the mood when she had a rough day. Doing things to help each other get through your weeks and through your days are essential to having a healthy, maintained marriage. And we by no means am I a perfect man or my wife is a perfect woman. She is not that. We are two flawed beings trying to make it together. We have it out sometimes. We go through it, but it's not the end of the world. And this is something that I want people to understand. Stop treating marriage like it's going to fix everything in your life because it's not. If it was broken before you got married, it might be broken when you're married. That's not going to fix it. You are the only one who can identify what you go through and what you deal with. And you're the only one through God who can fix it. You have to work on yourself. You have to do things to pour into yourself. You have to become the best version of yourself that you can be for your partner. And in marriage, you can't, as men, we are so prideful. Sometimes we put our wives on a pedestal. I've said this before. We cannot do that. We have to be the leaders for our wives. And sometimes our wives might not like the direction we go in, but that's okay. Long as it's good for the household, she'll come around. And sometimes our idea may not be the best way to go. Sometimes our wives may have a better idea. And that doesn't mean we don't have the final say. It just means, hey, we're the head of the household. Sometimes our idea ain't the best. And sometimes they have a better idea. But that's okay. But let me answer the question. What marriage means to men? Everything. Marriage means security. I was telling some young kids the other day, I was like, yeah, you're young now. You want to have your fun and be out there in the streets. But one day you're going to get older and it's going to get old. And then you're going to be tired. And you're not going to be able to do the things you used to do out there in those streets. And then you know what? You're going to want somebody to come home to who understands you, who appreciates you for who you are, and who understands that, hey, sometimes it just ain't going to happen. That's just normal. We have gotten into this flawed behavior of thinking that, if we argue, if we disagree, you don't do this, you don't like this that I like, it ain't going to work. We cannot give up on people just because we don't agree with everything that they do. We'll never agree on everything that a person does. We'll never agree on everything. So the term agree to disagree is essential in a healthy marriage because you're not going to agree on everything. And some things she may not like that she has to do, but if she's willing to submit to you as your wife and be patient with you and understand that there's areas that she might be more advanced in than you are, and she has to be patient. The least you can do as a man is be patient enough with her to say, you know what? She's going through something right now. She's going through this. I need to make sure that she's okay and she's loved and she has the support of her husband. No matter how you feel about what you've been going through, sometimes you got to put your own differences aside, your own things that you go through aside just for the good of her. Sometimes you got to just say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to tell her about this today. I'll just wait another day to tell her at a better time. This is not the time. She's going through something already, so I have to cover her, and I have to understand that she needs me right now. Women, As men, we won't say it, but we need you more than you know. Sometimes we have to go out and fight the world, and we just want to come home to the person that we love the most and have peace. Have peace. You know, a great wife knows when to speak and when not to speak. You know, and the thing is, a great wife knows that, hey, he's going through this right now. I need to be here for him. You know, he's a man I know. I don't want to emasculate him or anything like that. I just want to be there for him in a way where he doesn't feel like I'm trying to take away his power. But you know, that goes so far when our woman just cooked a nice meal for us and we walk in and she just looking nice for us and everything just to say, I missed you, babe. I'm glad you're home. You know, these days, I hate to say it, but you know, a lot of women, I know you want to be comfortable when you get home and all that, you know, but I think that we have gotten in, sometimes you get too comfortable. Sometimes as men, we want to come home and see you just did up for us, just for us. We might have had a rough day and we just need our woman to be our woman. So many women misconstrue what submissive means. And it doesn't mean you're our slave and we tell you what to do. It just means we're your leaders, which that's what we are. It's what we were born to be. And that's not a bad thing. That's okay for you to be submissive. Trust me, we have to be submissive too in order for you to be submissive. We got to be submissive to God, which means we have to be obedient to God. And if we're not obedient to God, then we ain't doing what we're supposed to do. See, so many people get it misconstrued. It says wives, emphasis on wives, should be submissive to their husband. That means if she's your wife, she should be submissive to you. See, so many people want marriage treatment without the commitment. And it doesn't work like that. You know, in this day, we deal with some prideful women, I'm telling you. And us men, we stubborn too. I mean, you know, we have our own things we got to deal with on both sides. But at the end of the day, we got to realize that it is not a competition. It is us trying to work together to be better people, to become one. What's good for you is good for me. It ain't no, oh, my money is my money, your money is my money too. No, our money is our money. We're a team. We're one. We married. Hey, we together. You fail, I fail. So there's no failure tolerated in our marriage. You know, sometimes, you know, in marriages even, you know, you go through seasons of brokenness still. God don't stop testing you just because you're married. Oh, it comes more. The enemy will come in there and he'll do things. And he'll get in your wife's mind or your men, us, our minds. And then, hey, we'll say things that we can't take back that leave scars. So, in my marriage, as a single man, I used to say things to women, man, that I couldn't take back. That, you know, and I was never disrespectful unless they came to me with disrespect, you know, and stuff like that, which, you know, it was rare. But at the same time, when I got married, I don't curse at my wife. I don't call out her name. I try my hardest to say things that I can't take back to her because I know it will hurt her. I can hurt her in ways that other people cannot. And the last thing I want to do is hurt her. And, you know, as husbands, we should look at it like that. The last thing we want to do is hurt the person we love the most because we've been hurt. We don't want to let past mistakes stop us from being the men that we were capable of being. And that starts with God. It starts with us. We have to take care of what's on the inside of us in order to be better husbands and to be married and be happily married. Because we go out there and we fight the world every day. We combat, you know, promiscuous women who come at you because once they see that ring on your finger, you're the unattainable. You know, I mean, that's attractive. Because if they see a ring on your finger, that means you committed to somebody, which means you'll commit. They want to test to see if you really are committed. And that's the enemy getting into their minds. You need to pray for those people too, because they're lost. And at the end of the day, as people, we have to understand that God don't got no respect to person. He loves us all no matter what we do. But the covenant between a husband and a wife and God, that is something you do not play with. You do not play with that. You know, it's so many times that as people, we'll have everything we need in a person, everything we could want in a person, and still want more. And you know, God loves us so much to the point where he gives us grace daily. And we have to give grace to our wives until, you know, as men, we have to give grace to our wives. We have to show them that grace. We have to show them that love that they've never had before. You can't be afraid to love the person that we love the most. You can't be afraid to receive love from them out of fear of, oh, they're going to hurt me if I let them in. You risk that with anybody you deal with on an emotional level in a relationship. If you made it to marriage with that person, that means that they're special, which means that they are someone that you thought was worth going down that aisle, giving them the name, committing your life to them. And that means something. That is the most sacred thing that you can do. You know, marriage to men means becoming complete. Means coming complete. You know, it means finding your person, that missing rib that you were missing. And becoming one. God loves us so much that he created a person for us. Now, the flawed thing is why we have such an outnumber, why women outnumber men so much, is because we've gotten to the flawed behavior of using sex as recreation. We treat it like it's something that's just supposed to be done with anybody. And it wasn't meant to be that way. It was meant to be done with our wife. But how many guys out here got 3 baby mamas, got baby mamas instead of wives? And we making baby mamas instead of wives. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we committing ourselves to flesh, not to God. We ain't being submissive to God, we being submissive to the flesh. And when anytime we do that, that's when things are going to get messed up. God loves us so much, and he allows us to be able to have all the tools that we need to be strong men and strong husbands and strong fathers. We got it inside of us. We just got to tap into it and use it. Marriage means that a man is on a whole nother level when it comes to prayer and when it comes to God and when it comes to covering. Marriage means that I'm not going to go out there to that spot with my single friends and hang out with them because I got my person there. If my person can't come, I don't want to go. My person should be welcome to wherever I'm welcome at. And if you got a problem with me bringing my wife along, then I don't need to be hanging out with you anyway. Now, I have my time. I hang out with my homies and stuff like that. And they're married, of course. But assemble yourself with like-minded people. And your single friends, you cool with them. They can come by and hang out with you and stuff like that. And you can do functions. But make sure you got a mind to stay married. Your single friends can do them. But as long as they respect your marriage, hey, they're cool. I don't mind. I got a single friend. He respects my marriage. But ultimately, I have to respect my marriage. He understands I'm married. He would never put me in a situation where I would mess that up. He loves my wife. We're family. I have married friends. We hang out with our wives, and sometimes, and I just feel like as men and in urban communities and black communities, we got more baby mamas than any other community. We got women out here who are hurting, who feel like they can't trust a man to lead. Enemies put in their head they can't trust a man to lead. They can't trust a man to hold them or carry their, to hold their heart and respect it. My wife, when I met her, the level of love that I had for her in the beginning was scary for me because I had just got out of a serious relationship, and it was like I wasn't on no, I want to find my person type stuff. I was on, I'm finna do me, man. I don't care about marriage anymore. And this is a testament that God will send you your person when you least expect it. The people you think are your person may not be your person, but that's okay. They were somebody different in your life. They were brought in your life to teach you something about yourself that you did not know. And as men, we have to understand that we will never have all the answers. We can be leaders, but that doesn't mean we know everything. It just means that, hey, we're men in a relationship with a woman, our wives, and we're the head of the relationship because we're men. And our wives are our helpmates. But helpmates doesn't mean she's our slave or she got to put up with all our crap. Helpmate means she's here to help us be better. Head of the household just means I'm here to lead you. I'm supposed to lead you in God and everything. We're supposed to pray, read our Bible together. I am guilty of not doing those things. I can admit it. We got to have God in our marriages. If we don't got God in our marriages, they will fail and they will fall. And we'll easily succumb to any trick that the enemy has for us. The enemy hates us. He doesn't like the covenant between us and God. All men want to be loved. All men want to be appreciated. All women want to be loved. All women want to be appreciated. Are we scared? Yeah. Scary out here. There is no perfect relationship. There's no perfect marriage. The only perfect thing about marriages is God. You're going to get on each other's nerves. You're going to go through it. You're going to have arguments. But at the same time, how you handle those things is what is important. For these people out here, for people who are going through it in marriages right now, you feel like your marriage ain't gonna recover from what you're going through. I'm here to tell you one thing. Just relax. Breathe. Talk to your person and come to them humble and let go of pride. Love each other. Remember why y'all got together in the first place and know that God got y'all. He got y'all. He gonna cover y'all. He covering y'all every day. It may not seem like it, but you know what? You love each other. And you can overcome the things that you're going through. You just got to trust God and realize that God gives y'all the covering. Y'all covered by God. You covered by the blood. You were put together by God. And it's like, no matter what happens, you should never in marriage utter this word here. This word should be forbidden to you. Divorce. Never say that word to your person, because that means that you give it up. Never give up on your person. Please show each other grace. Love each other the way God meant for you to love each other. And trust me, you're going to go through things. You'll never be perfect, but you'll get through it. I just pray to the married people out there who are going through problems, going through things that seem like you can't come back from it. you can come back from. You just got to trust God and you got to love your person. You should never tell the person you love the most, I want a divorce. Or I need time apart. Time apart ain't going to do nothing for you. It's just going to confuse you even more. No, you can have time to think. Time apart for me is, well, I go one place, I might go for a drive and just think and come back and get my mind right and come back and talk to you. There is no months apart or weeks apart or none of that. Or I leave my house. I'm never leaving my house, especially with my wife in it. That's where I belong. And if I leave it, I abandon her and I abandon my home. As men, we have to realize the narrative is controlled by us. We have the power to change things whether we know it or not. But I will say this to you, if a woman does not want to be in your life, do not beg that woman to stay in your life because she'll never appreciate you for who you are. Sometimes you got to give people enough time to miss you, man, to realize what they got. And same for you women. If a man don't want to be a part of your life, don't beg him because God got you. He wasn't your person to begin with. She wasn't your person to begin with. We have to realize, people, God got us. He does everything for a reason. He's never late. He's always on time. Everybody is not wife material for you. They're wife material for somebody, but just not for you. I wasn't husband material for my exes. They weren't wife material for me. They were somebody else's wives, whether they know it or not. But that's okay. Doesn't mean they're bad people. Doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It just means that we weren't good for each other. But guess what? We were good in one way or another that brought us together, and we learned that and we moved on. So as men in this community, in this society, we have to put ourselves first. Well, second, actually, behind God. Well, third, actually. You know what? I'm going to caveat back to something I said before incorrect. I said there should be God, you, and then your spouse. But let me add something to that. It was something that was brought to my attention. Somebody told me, and I liked it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to adopt that. I'm going to take that. So it should be God, your purpose, you, and then your spouse. Because God and your purpose comes before you and your spouse. Because if you living in your purpose, you're going to have a fulfillment that you need. You see? So the purpose is that we were put here. We already established that. We were born to lead. We were born to follow God. We were born to be lovers of God and show the love of God abroad, around. You know, there was an incident where I could have handled it a certain way, but because I showed the love of God and I showed caring about somebody, they were like, you know, they were angry and they could have just cursed me out and said everything else and, oh, I'll do this. But they said, God bless you. Thank you for caring. And I was like, no problem, man. Thanks. God bless you as well. Sometimes with our people, with our spouses even, you know, sometimes just to say, hey, I love you. I could say this to you, but I'm going to say I love you and just be done with it. I love you. I appreciate you and I respect you. We just have to realize how important we are as people to each other. We have to know that as husbands, we have an obligation to love our wives with a love that they've never received from anybody, because ultimately we are the ones who choose them. We're the only ones who choose to love them. We made a choice to love them. Mothers, you're their child, they're going to love you unconditional because you're their child. Siblings, they're going to love you because you're their blood, you're their sibling. You know what I'm saying? Children, they love their parents because that's their parents. They created them. Husbands, we love our wives because we choose to love them. We chose them. We are the only ones that choose to love the people that we love. Husbands and wives. Simple as that. That is why marriage, the covenant between man and woman and God, husbands and wives and God, that is a covenant that is unbreakable if we follow God. But if we follow this world and we follow the enemy, and it's going to be broken. We cannot treat a marriage, a covenant between man, woman, and God, like a legally binding agreement. Because it's much more than that. It's not about money. It's not about dominance. It's not about, I'm going to hold out on him because I want him to do this for me. He ain't do this for me, so I'm going to hold out. What are you thinking? So many times in marriages, women start using sex as a tool. And that's just not meant to be that way. So many times in marriages, men stop dating women. We get lazy. We stop dating each other. We don't take you out on dates no more. I got you now. I ain't got to take you out on dates no more. Mainly, it gets with women. They get comfortable. Yeah, men, we get comfortable too, and we get lazy sometimes, and we stop taking care of ourselves. And I married you now. You my wife now. I done seen instances where there's men that didn't want to work and their wife got to carry the load. I don't know about you, but I take my role as a leader as very serious. Women don't respect men that are lazy. Because if they're lazy in life, they're going to be lazy in a marriage. And vice versa. A man will take care of a lazy woman before a woman takes care of a lazy man. That's just how it is. That's how it is. We just can't take a blind eye to the signs of what we deal with on a regular. It's the time for accepting mediocrity. It's over. We cannot be mediocre husbands and wives anymore. We have to learn to appreciate each other for who we are and who we're becoming. I hate this when in a marriage, when a person says that, I'm just growing. A woman might hang out with her friends and they might be poisoning her mind because they see she got something good and they just want to ruin it for her because they mad they don't got it. And then they'll do stuff, have her doing things that she wouldn't normally do. And then she'll say, I'm just growing. I'm growing. That's not growth. That's going backwards. If it's not for your good, it's not growth. You're going backwards. You have to know in a marriage who your friends are and who your enemies are. And pray for both. Because if they hate you, they don't know God. So I just challenge you as husbands and wives to do the work. If you got to do couples counseling, do that. You should never be too prideful to do something for the good of your marriage. Especially if you're both trying. If my wife is willing to fight with me, I'm ready. I'm willing to fight too. I got all the fight in me I can have. I've been at a place where, I've been at a place where I use the D word. And I'm not very proud of it because I should never use that as a tool against her. Ever. And she should never use it as a tool against me. Well, she's never used that word against me. But I have, and I'm ashamed. Because the patience that woman has with me, man, is just astounding. And I haven't always been very patient with her, but I've worked on it and I've grown in that area. And I've learned to be patient and to have empathy and have grace for the person that I love the most. How are you going to have grace for the world if you can't have grace at home? We got to start showing each other more grace and realize we're flawed. We make mistakes. So guess what? We have to know that God deals with no perfect person. He has no respect of person. And my tongue got tied a little bit. So, but at the same time, do the work. Be submissive to God, man. Women, being submissive to your husband is not a bad thing. That is great. Trust me. If you do what you're supposed to, according to God, your marriage will be fine. We have to trust each other. We have to love each other. We have to covet each other. Because we have a covenant between God, us. And that's what it's between. Not your in-laws, not money, not friends, not anybody. Nobody should come between your marriage. Your girlfriend should not be held above your husband. Bible says you forsake all others for your husband. The reason why it says that, because they're the ones that's going to go through crap with you. Your friends ain't going to be there. And men, same thing. Your wife is the only one going to be in that water with you when things get bad. So that should create an unbreakable bond. I just say to all married couples out there, I'm praying for you. I love you. I love marriage. I love love. And I pray for you. And I pray that you are doing great. And that whatever you're going through, it's not that bad. You're going to get through it. God bless you. This is your boy GQ The Truth, signing off. Misconceptions of Masculinity, episode 4, titled, What Marriage Means to Men. It means everything. So trust God. Be submissive to God, man. Women, be submissive to your husbands. And hey, let's work together to make this thing work, man. Let's get more in tune with God, man, and love, man, and just trust. Once again, this is your boy GQ The Truth, signing off. Misconceptions of Masculinity. Peace.
It means I come home with the same 2 hands, mud on my boots, and a plan to stand. It means your name on my work shirt sleeve, and a cookie green when you call me. It ain't just free or a folded suit. It's the way I stay